If I told you that right now, with gold prices being quite high, you could buy an ounce of gold for $950, £1,000 an ounce. What's that? Maybe $1,400 an ounce. Would you think I was crazy? I've got a bit of a thought experiment today relating to these coins here as to how I might be able to buy an additional ounce of gold for my stack at a dirt cheap price. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a warm welcome to you all joining me for another precious metal ramble, where today I want to talk about adding additional weight to your stack when gold and silver prices are quite high at the moment, and they are very volatile. They can go up and down at a moment's notice. Now, there is a method that I am looking to employ with these Queen's Beast coins, and that's cashing out on the growth of the premiums of these coins to add additional weight. And with these 10 coins, the goal is to sell them and then have enough money to buy 11 ounces of gold. Add an additional ounce. And that actually then works out that I get an 11th ounce for the same price that I paid for these as an average, which is dirt cheap, around £1,000 an ounce. So you can see it can be quite beneficial. You can add additional weight by cashing in these coins. And not only that, you're helping the liquidity of your stack, because there's always a pressure to get the right price for them, to find where to get the best price. But with a bullion grade Britannia or just dirt cheap maple or whatever it might be, you are a lot more flexible when you really need to be. These are not flexible coins when you need them. So lots to talk about. I hope you enjoy it as we go throughout the video. If you do, put a thumbs up and share around with your friends here on YouTube. And do remember that I'm not giving financial advice. This is just my own thoughts and ramblings on gold and silver. So the Queen's Beast series is what is going to take the main focus of this discussion. Now, I do admit that this method of cashing out on premiums does, of course, require you to have coins in the first place that have potentially grown in premium. But there are a lot of different avenues by which you can add additional weight to the stack, and this is just one of them. So if you do have things like these Queen's Beast coins, it is a method by which you can look to add that additional weight. Now, if you want to extrapolate it down, you can also do this with silver. It is not impossible to do with silver at all. In fact, some might argue that it is more possible to do with silver, to add additional silver weight, because the premiums on certain coins have grown ridiculously. American silver eagles right now are the case in point. You could cash out on a whole bunch that you've had in the future or in the past, and now look to secure more lower premium bullion down the line. And again, that helps with your liquidity too. So it's a very valid method for both gold and silver. But for me here in the UK, with the VAT, the taxes that's added to silver when we purchase it from dealers, gold is really the way forward for me. And it's a better long-term storage of wealth, in my opinion. So these Queen's Beasts are the focus for what my thought experiment is. And right now, you've just got to look at the collector's market for these rather than to a dealer. You know, dealers at the moment, I've seen a number in the UK looking and listing these for around £1,800, £1,900 per coin. Now, when you factor in the difference between that and buying a just bog standard Britannia or bullion ounce of gold, you're looking at about an average of £350 to £400 per coin, which is quite a lot, really, and especially if you extrapolate it out to all 10 coins. Now, there's an argument to be had that perhaps realistically those prices are quite optimistic, but there are confirmed sales of those prices. You know, they wouldn't be out there at that price if people weren't buying them. Now, whether or not the latest editions like the White Horse, the Greyhound, the Yale will be getting those prices is another matter. But one thing's for sure is that these are now starting to become less common on the open market, and if somebody does want them, they are restricted with where they can look to buy them. So dealers can get very good prices for these, which says to me that there is a market for them with the dealers. You could go to a dealer and still get a premium growth back on it, but it will probably be less because, of course, a dealer is a business and their whole mantra is that they want to buy a coin at a lower price and sell it for a higher price and make a profit. How much that is going to be is kind of down to a lot of people's or a lot of dealers' kind of ethics. You know, perhaps they want to pull the wool over your eyes and give you just spot price, or even less than spot price sometimes from some dealers. Smaller and less scrupulous ones out there will often offer less than spot price for the gold. But a big established dealer that knows that they can sell these coins on pretty quickly, perhaps they've got a waiting list or an established customer base that they know would want them, they're probably going to take them for considerably over spot price. Just as an example, if they've got already customers waiting in the wings, they could give you 1,600, maybe even more. £1,700 for these coins, and then look to sell them for £1,800, £1,900. They'll make a quick turnaround profit. That's what they do. It's about volume for them. And then you can use that money to buy an extra ounce. Now that is, of course, it's somewhat difficult to get the best price for those, and that's going to very much depend on the dealer that you're dealing with and how much they're going to be willing to give you. It's obviously more lucrative to look to sell these yourself on the second-hand market. However, when you are looking at 10 ounces of premium gold, and perhaps you want to be like the dealer and get £1,800, £1,900 per coin, there's a good chance that you won't be able to get all 10 of these Queen's Beasts sold very quickly or all in one go. And also bear in mind, if you are going to sell them all in one go to one person, that's going to be £17,000, £18,000, perhaps a bit less because of the later editions being worth a little lower, but maybe £17,000, let's call it. You know, it is quite staggering to think about how that deal, you know, if it goes wrong, what's going to happen? How do you do it? How do you take the payment? How do you post the coins? Insurance. It's all very interesting. And how's the buyer going to trust you as well if you are just some Joe Bloggs selling on eBay, for example? So lots of really kind of, you know, interesting questions on that front. And that's why I think it's very important to establish, you know, your seller profile on a lot of these different platforms as soon as you can. Selling is a way to add additional weight of gold to the stack, and it is really, really important. Now, for my thought experiment, I think going to a dealer with these and trying to get a good price for them is probably the best way to kind of lock in that additional ounce of gold. And it really has absolutely nothing to do with the spot price. The spot price could be £10,000 an ounce for gold, but if the dealer's still offering you a price and they're then looking to exchange, they, you know, perhaps they are willing to do that exchange straight up. You know, if you are going to get, let's call it £16,500 for these coins as a set of 10 with a dealer, and then right now you can buy with £16,500 11 ounces of gold. That's your extra ounce of gold added to the stack straight away. And for me, that's a really good deal, because not only are you getting actually an extra ounce of gold, but you're basically getting that extra ounce of gold for the average price of these 10 now split between 11. So for someone like me who was very lucky to start this collection at the beginning when gold was a lot lower, you're looking at these being, you know, and I think the average on these is about £1,100 an ounce, with the later ones being a bit more expensive. But it's still like £1,100 an ounce average for 11 coins. You average that down, it's about £1,000 an ounce. It is, you know, it'd be even less if you get more for your money. It is incredible how much you can get from the growth of premiums on coins, and it's not something to be ignored. And it is this kind of culture that a lot of stackers will have, that they will just go, I will never even think of selling, never even consider it. It's not something for me. I want to make sure that I have it. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Why would I ever sell? Well, if you're selling for the right reasons to up those ounces, it's only a good thing. And if you have got the liquidity within your gold stack, then if and whenever it was needed to be sold for an emergency, you can't ignore the fact that even if you say you will never sell it, that you might one day have to. Everybody's life can be thrown into turmoil. All we've got to do is look at the world and how crazy it is right now to see that. And you can automatically just see the liquidity value of having lower premium silver and gold is much, much better. So lots of really interesting kind of thought experiments there. I will be, I guess, sharing my experiences with this as I go through. Perhaps I'm just being fanciful about my optimism on what we can achieve for these Queen's Beast coins. As I said, I think I'll be trying to go to dealers rather than to general public for these, you know, for selling. As I said, the way that I want to do it is to kind of lock in, you know, all 10 at a certain price and then come back and have the extra cash to buy that extra ounce of gold. That's the method here. It's meant to be quick. It's meant to be a quick turnaround. It's not meant to be list this like a dealer does for £1,900 or £2,000 and just wait 6 months for a buyer to come along. It's not about that, because the spot price will potentially change too much to make it actually work as a thought experiment. So that's my thoughts. I thought it was an interesting thing to explore and to think about, and I'd love to know if any of you guys out there have done that with your stacks, with your bullion, and converted it into more ounces of gold or silver for your stack. It'd be great to hear from you. So please feel free to comment down below. If you've enjoyed this video, then you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button. And if you enjoy our channel and you'd like to support the channel, then we do have poured silver items on our website right now. We've got some of these Celtics and Pirates. We've got a Aztec round, a big chunky bar, and also commission pieces available for everybody. So please feel free to go over there and check that out. That's the best way that you can support our channel beyond watching and liking and sharing and commenting on our videos. So thank you very much for anybody who is interested. Otherwise, that is it from me. I would love to know what you think. See you down in the comments. Otherwise, have a good one. And as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.